I cannot breathe in this mask. Oh my god. Share. I have become the puppet. You won't even hear me in this. Oh my god. Hold on. There we go. I am the puppet. Let's go. Yeah. This is literally my costume for Halloween because I'm not paying. No one's paying that much money for a costume. Let's not kid ourselves. Look at my costume. Yeah. It's sweaty in here. Oh my god. Do 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 do. Unfortunately, YouTube is kind of sad because we can't do the unrated version because YouTube is sensitive. So we have to do the good version, but it's still good. Don't worry, we have a good version. So yeah, we made it to Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Hello, hello, I am the puppet. Ooh, the puppet. This is my costume now. Oh my god, look at that. This is my mask. Can't really take it off anymore. So yeah, that's me, the puppet. Alrighty. It's time to read the long-awaited Five Nights at Freddy's 4 that was supposed to release in July, but unfortunately, YouTube has become sensitive, so we can't read the original version. Alright. So yeah, it's 112 pages because we had to tweak things out, because or else YouTube is going to go crazy. Alright, let's read. Hold on, can they even hear me in this? Oh my god. In the final chapter, a grown, traumatized Abby, now labeled the town's boogeyman, tries to start a new life. Unfortunately, a new nightmare drags her back, and this time it won't stop until she stops breathing once and for all. Alright? Unfortunately, we were not able to do the not rated version because, yeah, YouTube is messed. This is kind of sad. But we do have the be aware moment, so there's that. We were able to do that. Believe it or not, I wrote this in 13 days. You know, I'm not wearing this mask. Can I still talk like that? Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, you can hear me like this. Yeah. All right. Let's start with the prologue, in which a new nightmare begins. Thunder begins to fall as a book opens, flipping pages with a scratch as the narrator begins to speak in sorrow. There was once a story of a girl and her bear. Some say it was great, but things aren't as they say. Every story has an ending, but this one seems to never have one, as it seems like it. Or does it? Well, let's find out for ourselves. It's a tale as old as time, as Freddys is a place that haunts not only the town, but the ones that encounter it and witness its history as it goes. Change in the town arrives, and so did it change one person in particular. The last time we saw Abby Smith, back in her hometown, she left her past away and entered a new house, new life, and moved on, hoping for a brand new life. If only the town moved on too with her life ghost stories along with it. Unfortunately, that is not the case. A massacre was caused by the ones that haunted her back at Freddy's, and the public quickly got a hold of her story. Without wasting any time, it was spread everywhere, never escaping a never ending nightmare, thus to come. To the point where a movie of her tales were told and sent into the public, making her situation even worse. Thus the nightmare continued and continued, never stopping once again until a never ending nightmare. With nowhere to go and nowhere to hide from these childish ghost stories, Abby felt lost and felt broken as this wasn't the life she wanted. Never able to live a normal life, she hid, never fully normal. One could be honored this could happen to them, but to Abby, this was a curse, not an accomplishment. It was all pain. It went to the point where others decided to go to the location of her nightmares and never came back, vanishing into the shadows of dismay. The deaths of those people were put on her as people looked at her in fear when she walked the streets of her town. The hooded figure walks as everyone watches below. Names like Freak, as shown in graffiti, as the friend she once knew look at her with disgust. Ew, how did she not die yet? Ew. The other bullies looked at her with a face so hollow, as she is seen as the town's boogeyman. The white rabbit is gone, so the town needed a new boogeyman to label. Didn't help that she was seen recently during a murder, but that wasn't her fault. Yet she was to blame, as the town looks for its next victim. She wasn't the one who started it, but yet again, unwanted, thrown away, as posters surface of her being wanted, as she wouldn't show her face ever again, not a star, a tragic, ruined, broken tragedy. She had to hide in the shadows in her hoodie, like back then, as she was not seen in the positive light by the town, as people still look at her as if she was the monster. The articles online don't help either. They made things worse for the poor soul, hidden beneath. Unfortunately for Abby, the story of her life was never trusted, as some believed her story, some didn't. She was on her own, as most who knew were either gone or dead. Even if she tried giving proof, nobody even gave her a chance to talk her mind, as she was abandoned by most of the townsfolk. No one in her school wanted to be there for her, not even her only friends, not anyone, as they saw her as a pariah. Lost and now with nowhere to go, as most of her family members are gone, Abby is on her own, as she lives in guilt, as her brother, her sister, father, gone, in spite of that pizzeria and the friends she thought she had. She never wanted more people to head to the place ever again, so in the night she uses her motorcycle to burn the area, hoping to end the torment that is Freddys. That name was a haunting memory of what she used to be, so let it burn. The flames burn in her eyes as every night the police arrive, and all they see is a message of the writing on the walls, chilling, but it's all she is able to see. After all, it is what the public believes she is, at least what they told her it is, a monster. Lucky for Abby, she has been getting lessons from the ghost girl, and it seems she has been hanging out with her more lately for some reason. After all, Cassidy is the only one Abby has, and she is nice to talk to, as she understands the poor soul's burden. She knows how it feels to be a burden. She hesitates at first, shut in guilt. What a shame, unbelievable, and loss. Was it her fault? She says. I have to carry this burden, but what if I'm too weak? She looks into the distance. You're not alone. I carried my own darkness. Maybe together, if we will be able to get through this nightmare together, right? Abby looks to Cassidy when no one else is watching, a quick exchange of understanding and a glance. People would think it's weird she's talking to someone that doesn't exist. She nods. It's like she is directly dying with a smile. I'm glad to have a friend like you. I don't know what I'll do without you. Hoping Abby wishes that burning Freddy's will end her torment, this, however, was the opposite effect. Even after burning the place she went to, that wasn't enough, as this, though, didn't change or stop how some vigilantes went out in the night to hunt down the old location, burning scraps and setting out to hunt the animatronics down without a trace. A group of teens enter the building. As they do, they begin messing with the place, as the place is burned down slowly but surely. Many stole from each area, mostly coins, tokens, but also one thing that was hidden in the back. Hey, I think I found something. The people who found the burden have never come back alive, and the details of the place were never seen ever again. In the morning, they were wrapped with papers of yellow. Ambulance arrived as police covered the place in white marks. A girl in a hoodie watches as she hides her face with a mask, never wanting to be seen ever again. She knew what happened with those people. This time, they were not so lucky. Hold on, guys, I'm gonna turn on the fan. Oh my god. You might not even hear the computer. We put it in the. There you go. Here we are. The fan. The fan from fnaf. Crap. There you go. Turn the fan. Like the people in the past who did so, they never came back, and suspicions grew bigger on poor Abby. The police from Freddys looked at Abby's eyes as her eyeliner are all messed up. She is grabbed by one of the officers and quickly judged by one of them. Unfortunately, this was something she was going to get used to when you're a hated star. You're going to have to deal with these toxic so called fans. Now, in order to remove the damage of trauma she has endured in the past years, Abby quickly applied to a college, hopefully to get an art degree and the dream she once wanted. But she would have to dream her dream as real life is no Disney dream. The only problem for Abby, and despite applying each college, is she knew it was all in vain. Paper by paper, it was clear that her reputation connecting to the restaurant gave her a bad look to not only to the town, but the whole community as a whole. It quickly became clear as the community did not trust Abby Smith. Life as she knew it was never going to be the same. She just wanted to feel normal again, but it was clear she can't always get what she wants, as life, for her, felt unfair. What more can she go through? A child like her still felt that way. Life is full of its upside downs, and this time Abby is on her low life, as pain follows her. Wherever she goes, it never seems to let her go. You can't escape me. That's what it feels like to her. But why? Her future in life was in doubt, as now her and the one they called the Yellow Rabbit are somewhat more alike than what it seems. Both hated and look differently in between. One thing is for sure and certain, Freddys will always come back to her, as many new nightmares are ready for their prey, and unfortunately, I'll always be here with Abby to play and stay. That was like a prologue, that wasn't the actual story. Hello everybody, how's everyone doing? I have become the puppet. The puppet has possessed me. I have become now the puppet. The start begins with a bright flashlight pointing at a rabbit figure. It looks like a person in a chair, but a mangled up mess. Is she awake? Wake her! Hey, a woman enters the room as she has her gas mask on and begins to speak. Seems like it. What should we do now? We see a man enter the room as he looks into the gas chains. Is this a house or some sort of science lab? You found her. It's my experiment. This is who will help us with the whole plan of ours. The person in the rabbit mask opens her eyes as she looks around the room in fear, unaware of her surroundings. I can't see. Where am I? So, you awakened, dear daughter. You can thank me for bringing you back home. No need to yell. It's all well. Charlie Emily is in shock as she turns to see many cameras in the room and is shocked to see she's back and alive. But how? She was burned up back in the pizzeria. The last thing I remember is wait, hold on, I can't remember. Charlie seems to have lost her memories. It seems that way. She begins to panic and wants answers. What is this? Why are you doing this, grandfather? What are you planning? How am I alive? Oh, he is. The general hushes Janet so as to not reveal too much. It will ruin the fun time. And why ruin that? I want you to help me unleash these things in your sister's room. It's a gas this worries Charlie and she thinks the worst for Abby. Are you going to kill her? Oh, it won't kill her. It will only give her, pause for dramatic effects, nightmares. Okay. I won't let you. Why? Charlie's eyes widen as the rabbit mask and plush activates. She tries to take it off, but it's too late. Abby, I'm sorry. The eyes go silver as Charlie's no more, as her eyes go bright red. The general walks up to his granddaughter. He seems to feel bad for her, almost, as he knows he must do this. There is no other way. You sure this is the only way, Janet? Are you sure you know what you're doing? I'm sure now. Pull that lever, unleash the nightmares. Janet thinks for a moment as she looks at the switch and sweat. Look, hon, I really don't think we should do this. Are we sure these things are capable of is really out of our boundaries? Don't question my orders. Pull the lever. Janet has never been yelled at, but decides to pull the lever. She has no other choice. Lovely. The two look at the cameras as the gas surrounds Abby's room. The room goes dark, and we see the clouds go red, and everything begins to fade away. Let the night begin. Let this be the final chapter. A deep laughter is heard as the plush traps jump scare the screen, scratching it to the abyss. From the person that brought you Five Nights at Freddy's Rewritten and Other Tales. Written by Fredbear's channel, adapted by the R-rated script. Unfortunately, we can't do the unrated one. A fan-made project featuring the FNAF franchise, part of the cinematic universe. Based on the Click Team game of the same name. An original story from the adaptation of Scott Cawthon's Five Nights at Freddy's comes Five Nights at Freddy's 4, Rewritten. Let the nightmare begin, and let this be the final chapter. Chapter 1. Where art thou? We stand here, and now, tonight, little one. Guys, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this with the mask on. Where did I get the puppet mask? I made it. I custom made this puppet mask. I made this thing. How much is this? I made the puppet mask. Yeah, I made the puppet mask. It's a great mask. I think I made the puppet mask. I found this in somewhere and I made it. Pretty cool mask. Chapter 1. Where art thou? We stand here and now, tonight, little one. 5 days till the party. In 1973, smiles were shown on TV screens. You know what? I'm taking off the mask. I can't wait. Guys, I'm taking off the. Wait, if I speak like this, can y'all hear me with the mask on or off? Wait, hold on. Let me see something. The Papa mask is awesome. Yeah. Chapter 1. Where thou? We stand here now and tonight, little one. Oh my god, I'm sweating in this mask. Jesus. 5 days till the party. In 1973, smiles were shown on the TV screens as Evan, Jake, and Elizabeth were getting ready for the birthday party that was promised for Evan. It was his big day after all, as promised by his father, Afton. Hopefully. This is so exciting. I can't wait to see what father has an exciting day indeed, as she drums without finishing her sentence. I haven't been there before so long, but I wonder if you think it looks nice. It'll be cool. I hope it's a good thing that Dad lets me bring my friends. Not like Evan's gonna want to come. He's always crying in front of these things. I don't know why Dad wants to take him there. It's true. The child, Evan, even though he had plushies of these characters, was scared of the two animatronics at the diner. But recently his brother could be to blame. He began to fear for the rest of them. So Elizabeth mocks Jake, pushing him as she explains the whole situation to Jake. Oh, don't act all dumb, Jake. After all, you're the one to blame due to ripping his plushies and scaring him. Remember? With the foxy one? The red one? You ripped his fucking head off. Kids! Language. Kids, listen to your mother. We cut to Jake hiding in the TV as Evan is walking around back in the TV. Jake has a sinister smile as he slowly remembers the memory of Afton snapping his fingers. Was that a memory? Was it a good one? Did it matter if it was good? Kids, you ready? It's time to go. William has the car ready, and so does Clara with her sunglasses. For some reason, why does she have her eyes covered if it's not sunny? The girls wonder, though, why her mother has sunglasses if it's not sunny outside. Mom, what's with the glasses? Are you blind there? There's no sun here. William turns around with a stern look as Clara tells Elizabeth not to worry, for there's no need for the concern. No need to worry, dear. I'm just. Hold on a sec. She thinks about what to say as she needs these words to be said right, or else she won't see the light of day ever again. Well, dear, these are my favorite glasses. Why wouldn't I want to have these puppies on? Jake, though, he knew what was going on with Mom. She should have known. He saw his sister Vanessa's eyes in fear, as there was a time where William snapped and yelled at both of her and Clara from a secret door. That was his father's favorite room, forbidden for reasons one shall not forget. But he always did for some reason or another. William wasn't always a chill guy, far from it. But he didn't go too far to hit the family, not from what Jake knows. He doesn't know much about his father's history, if you can call him his father. His father? William could see from Jake's senses that Jake was the smartest of the family. It's clear that the kid knows more than what William thinks he does. Hey kiddo, you alright? Jake, unfortunately for him, he was adopted. He wasn't sure of his origins, but was very skeptical of his father's whereabouts. That includes even Elizabeth, as she was just arrived last week but knows very little. Is Elizabeth even her real name? She never smoked at the time, rarely spoke, and rarely even smiled, but one night. Jake was exploring the house days ago, found another, but this other looked scared. She didn't look like she liked being where she was. She was locked in a room. Who did that? Was it his father who locked her? And why would William keep her locked in there for so long? Whatever the case, Jake is going to find a way to get her out of there, if he can, but he has to do it without his father catching up to his plans. While thinking, Jake cuts back to a loud honk. It seems the three made it to Fredbear's. Of course, this is the place that they're gonna eat. Boring. But he can't say it out loud. Dad, this place again? Come on, Evan's always watching that TV show. It's so annoying seeing that yellow bear's face. There's a Sparky's down the street. William laughs as he just opens the entrance with his keys, not giving a damn of what his son has to say. Nonsense, my boy. Fredbear's, where's that? Have you tried the pizza yet? Jake frowns as he raises an eyebrow, clearly not impressed. Yeah, like a million times. I'd rather eat cardboard. Well, you can try it a million times, kiddo. Now then, let's eat. Evan jumps up and down and pushes Jake out of the way as Elizabeth runs and enters the diner, full of hype and laughter. I got Pac-Man. That's not fair. I want Pac-Man. Ladies first, I guess. Jake rolls his eyes as he has to get used to all the boredom. He gets closer and sits next to a chair and looks at his phone while tapping his foot. My head hurts so much. This is so dumb. Why do you have to drive us into your things? That a sound is heard in the back as it catches Jake's attention. The hell was that? He looks around as he ponders for a moment if he should get closer. Would his father notice? A whisper, a noise so far away, not like his father would mind. No, his father barely notices any of them, except for Evan, the one he treats nicely for some reason. It's like Evan was the special one. Of course, Evan was his favorite. He was always given gifts and such. Just like last week, out of the blue, he was seen with a paper airplane making bubble noises. Noises that just came off weird. It gets on his nerves so much. It's enough to drive anyone crazy. But at the end of the day, Jake still cares for his brother, even though he doesn't really remember much about him, or even himself. One time, though, is where his mindset was changed. The sound gets to Jake's attention as he keeps pondering and snaps out of it. The heck is that sound? Jake decides to finally walk to find the sound as the sound gets more staticky and full of screams. It's coming from the ball pit? Jake grabs a flashlight he found earlier as he shines it on the ball pit. Whoever's in there, get out! The ball pit looks red and doesn't look normal as Jake begins to shake as the ball pit makes breathing noises. Creepy. Jake isn't much of a detective, but he knows what's in that ball pit must be very important to be making all that noise. The only detective he knew was Detective Pikachu, but this was no game or movie. He grabs some chairs to climb up and looks at the ball pit as he closes his eyes. Tally-ho! Oh god. He jumps in as he gets deeper red dust covered into the darkness, as his vision gets darker and darker as everything fades to black. Chapter 2. Tomorrow is another day. Dreams. What are they? Can they be nightmares as well? Eyes open as a girl awakens in a dark room. She hears the screams of silence in her voice. What is this? Where am I? Abby awakens not as an adult but as a young, scared girl again. She feels vulnerable and alone, lost without an echo in the heart of darkness. Is this a dream? How am I young again? Abby looks around the room as she looks at the curtains, as she sees pure red and darkness. Glass feels like a breaking point. This feels off. Is she even there anymore? No echoes, as all she can see is her reflection in the ground. Okay, this isn't funny anymore. Haha, funny prank, Cassidy. The last thing I remember is I was talking to Cassidy and that's it. Abby remembers now. Maybe contacting her friend will help. She can use a friend about now. Perhaps Cassidy will know what to do. Cassidy, where are you? No answer, as it seems Abby is alone for now. Full panic, her tears begin to show as she runs to her dismay. No one could save her now. Abby looks around as she finds an exit and runs to it, opening it, punching it with all her might. Hey, why can't I open this door? Somebody, please! The door is locked. Looks like nobody will be escaping anytime soon. Tears fall as she is all alone. As she falls to the ground, she is about to break down. A voice gives her help. Help me. A voice responds. Hey, you okay? Her tears are gone as she turns to see a Fredbear plush. Cassidy? You look different. The plush bear controlled by Jake, now a soul, aware, but is able to see Abby, is now able to see her, but unable to do anything in plush form. The least she can do is make Abby feel better at most. Hey, don't cry. Look, your friends are over there. See? We're still your friends. Don't you believe that? The tears fall into the floor as Abby feels alone. She misses her old friends. Her voice was so calm yet so far. Hey, no need to cry. You look lonely. I can fix that. Now look over there. Abby turns to see a picture of her Mike and Vanessa with animatronics in the fort scene with four separate plushies. Memories? Flashbacks? Her tears stop for a moment as she reaches out to her friends, but sees one of them has no head. Poor Foxy. Jake knows what happened, but he doesn't remember much. My friends are broken. You, Abby, are the key, and you can free them, but careful not to release something else. It won't stop until you stop. The words stop as the plush activates wide eyes. Wait, what's your name? The plush stays quiet and then answers her question. My name is Fredbear. I don't really remember my name in this form. To be fair, you're not the first one to be here. None of us do. We just don't have the option to choose. Abby walks close to the door. She tries to pull the door handle again and again. It doesn't budge, as she just lies on the floor and cries yet again. The bear looks at her and as he thinks of what could be happening. Seems she got locked in her room again. Rest now, dear friend. Don't be scared, for I am here with you. Now close your eyes, for tomorrow is another day. As Abby closes her eyes, she quickly fades away to hear sounds as everything fades to black. The darkness fades as the weight of the dreams drown deeper. Jake floats in the pit, weightless, watching the real world through waterlogged memories. A hooded figure, quiet, kneeled in an old tool shed, hurriedly stuffing papers into a rusted trunk. Behind him, a child, small, shivering, watches from the corner. Jake reaches forward, but his hand passes through the scene like smoke. Hey, where are you going with that kid? The man snaps the truck shut, picks up the boy like cargo, and disappears into the night as the tires screech. Jake follows as he swims to the void, nightmarishly. The car peels away. Jake dives deeper into the pit, chasing shadows as they continue behind him. The voice gets louder and distorted as his hand reaches out. His heart beats faster. He knows where this is going, but he can't stop it. He always knows when, but never knows how. I can still stop it. I just have to. But it's too late. The man is already there, in the basement. Jake arrives just as the heavy door swings shut behind him. He slips through, unseen, just like a ghost in a shell. The child is begging now. The words are broken, muffled. Jake can barely hear over the hum. Something mechanical clinks in the dark, all distant from him. The man doesn't yell, he doesn't threaten, he just hums cheerfully. Off key. Something from a children's tape or kid cartoon, like one Jake has seen before. He's played these games before. Easy now. Can't have you screaming now. Jake tries to look away but can't. He is forced to watch against his will and it's as horrible as one can imagine. What kind of sick person would do such a thing? He sees the man lift something. A bag? No, the child. Limp now. The humming grows louder, brighter, as he opens something metal, squared, stained. The switches flip. The hum becomes a hiss, and fire is seen as Jake looks at the flames. Silent screams. Then, a sound Jake will never forget. Not in this life, not in any other. The air turns thick like grease, like burning as smoke covers the air. More and more. He doesn't see it, but he knows the way it was done. What happened to that poor child? It's the worst fate that could have ever happened to a poor soul. Jake falls to his knees. He tries peeves. He shakes, pain in his chest. Behind him, the man closes the lid, still humming and chanting, screaming in his mind. Follow the yellow rabbit, follow the yellow rabbit. Those words repeat and repeat until dawn. He turns as the shadow follows along. Yellow eyes glint from the mask as he looks into the boy's eyes like they met before. A crude rabbit grin as the blood of the victim drips so slowly, and he gives Jake a smirk wipe. Today's the day, today's the day. Jake screams as he pushes away and yells for a way out. Freedom! But only darkness answers. He curls into himself alone, his voice gone, his purpose lost. Tomorrow is another day. Chapter 3. Today's the day you meet my friends. We made it to chapter 3, everybody. Ho ho! We made it to chapter 3! Hi, everybody. We made it to chapter 3. Today's the day you meet my friends. A girl named Abby opens her eyes as it begins to feel uneasy as she hears barking in the distance. Hey, Fredbear, are you there? Seeing the plush is nowhere to be found as Abby is on her own. She's unable to contact the fellow yellow friend. She isn't alone though. She has a Freddy plush in her bed. She attempts to climb the bed, but the best she can do is boop the nose. This gives Abby some type of comfort as she pulls a small little smile. Oh, aren't you a little cute? Abby's heartbeat begins to beat fast as her door creaks open in her bedroom. What's that? Her eyes begin to feel aware. She turns back to run quick to the door, and she quickly closes it in fear. Nope, not today. Perhaps keeping it closed will keep her safer, but for how long? Abby can hear it can't be breathing. It sounds very disturbing. Sounds human-like. It can't be normal. Sounds too human for her own liking. She slowly opens the door, and with a flashlight, she gets back from the bed. She lights a bit small of hope into the door, and she spots something that almost makes her fall to the floor dead. It's her friends, but they look different. Sharp teeth, eyes full of blades, and blood. Bonnie could be seen in the hall, scratching the floor, as he turns away and charges at Abby's door as she shrieks, "Nope! Get the heck off my door!" They seem to fear the light, as it seems. The buddy hits the door and forces Abby pushes back forward with all her strength. Not today! Knocking and knocking is forced on Abby's door as her breath is in her chest. The creature begins to scratch and breathing into the door as Abby tries to push the door as she screams in fear. "Leave me alone!" Abby screams for mercy, and it may have worked as the breathing and banging has stopped for now. She slowly opens the door and shines her flashlight to see she is in good hands. Gone? Good. Better be. Abby closes the door as she gets back to the bed and hopes for the nightmare to be over. Her light begins to flicker as suddenly she quickly runs to the left door. It's all in my mind. Perhaps it wasn't real. She heads back to her bed as she begins to feel very dizzy. Geez, what is going on here? Is this a dream? No way. It feels more like a nightmare of anything. She wonders about the time as Abby looks up on stress with Bonnie. It must have taken a lot of her time. It's barely 3 a.m. You have to be kidding me. Is time getting slower, or is it just her? She thinks, how come she can just lock the doors? If only it was that easy. They'll just punch it down. Abby grabs the flashlight, and as she takes her next step, she hears noises, but it's not coming from the two doors. It's the kitchen. Oh no! Seeing Bonnie isn't going to be the only one who causes her problems this night. Oh come on, Chica's here too? Where was she? She turns as footsteps are heard, but the steps confuses Abby, and she has to make a move. Quick! She isn't aware of where the steps are coming from. This is breaking her mind, as she takes the risk and heads to the right door. Hopefully she made the right choice. Come on, please don't let this be the wrong one. Please don't let her in. Breathing can be heard as Abby shuts it well in fear. She feels herself trembling as the wind blows in her face. Her heartbeat is getting louder and louder as her flashlight begins to flicker and flicker. The noise is gone for now, as Abby heads back to the other door, and this time is able to shut it. Yes, be gone, Chuck! Abby's heart is pounding as she hears something from the left, right, in her mind. It's all over the place. Oh, come on, please, don't wait. Wait, they do not, as they force the door with scratches with their claw marks. More of a danger as they won't let you go. She heads over to the back door and sees the chicken figure with white eyes. It's her. She followed her home like the other ones. Yup, that's Chica, alright. Chica's more aggressive as she charges the door, but unfortunately for Chica, Abby closes in time as her heart pounds. Breathing is heard from Chica as Abby keeps the door shut, not letting the demon enter her domain. It works as Chica's gone, but the other one is here. Him. It's the bunny. She runs in stress as she falls to the ground, and when opening her eyes, the nightmare seems to be over as the sunlight shines in her eyes. Beeping is heard as the time reaches 6 a.m. As Abby sees the room shine and the monsters are gone, as everything fades to black. 4 days till the party. A voice whispers to you in the distance. There isn't much you can do for them. Save them. Save them. Please help us. Please help me. Jake is back into the pit, still feeling like he's drowning into the abyss, as he hears the laughter of very sinister men. Is that him? A voice tells him to follow the voice of the man behind the slaughter, as he is led by the writing in the walls. The ghost girl, who is hiding in the distance, watches as Jake reaches out his hand and follows the clues. The voices get louder and louder as Jake's mind is getting clear, as the abyss is no longer there. Getting closer. The voice is sounding familiar. It's like we met before. The sinister figure voice from the other side of a red door sounds familiar too. Jake can hear screaming and banging from the other side as he climbs up from the abyss as the ghost girl closes her eyes in hollow. It wasn't his fault. Jake pushes the heavy door open as the flickering overhead lights cast shadows. This is the part where I had to like literally censor it because like I wasn't gonna be able to read it if I didn't censor it. His eyes catches on something. A face, torn mid-scream, frozen in photographs nailed to the wall as Jake looks in horror. What did you do? The lone remnants of the boy's body lie splay across the floor, like doll parts. The walls are littered with photographs, scratch-off kids' image cryings. Thousands of them, hundreds of crying children, each caught and moments of fear or pain covered in blood. One photo in particular makes Jake's breath itch. You sick. What did you do? In the corner, half hidden by shadows, a photo of her, the girl he's seen before. But the image is too dim, her face nearly swallowed by the darkness. Then, a creak. The yellow rabbit turning shows a grim sight. It's him. His mask glittered red. In one hand, the knife, in the other, a severed limb and still warm. You sick son of a... You shouldn't be here. Jake stumbles back, slamming the door as the rabbit lunges. But the hallways is gone. Only the abyss is left now. He falls, endless, weightless, screaming, "You can't escape me." Darkness wraps around him as the echoes of children cries and fills the void, pleading, begging for help, for mercy, for the nightmare to end. Flashes erupt in his mind, visions from the room making him watch, the chant with blood dripping and screaming in their eyes, eight girl inside the microwave, pounding the glass with blistered hands, eight torn apart by metal jaws, tears mingling with wires and gore over the top. Stop! 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 Is this the final night chapter, or just a never-ending dream? Laughter follows shrills, animalistic, the yellow rabbit voice, a chorus of torment and fire of hell. The devil will be afraid of this man, or was he already out there? More images charred remain, score skin lifted, twisted beyond recognition. The smell of burning hair, the hiss of cording stills of screams, get more desperate as Jake squeezes his eyes shut. Enough! Silence as he curls into a ball and cries the entire squeeze sequence. Dear brother, tomorrow is another day. The next night or day. It feels like that. Oh, Nick, Abby wakes up, back up again, and is back in the room, full of light and hope. The monsters are no more, and the room is opening again, letting her out. I'm back, awake and alive, again. Abby looks for her entrance room as the Fredbear plush communicates with her once again. Jake tries to tell her as much as he can, since he isn't able to do much in his plush form, about his sister. Hey kiddo, can we talk? Abby closes the door and sits next to the plushie and talks with it. Is it weird to talk with your toys? Not really. The plush speaks about a locked room, a room where perhaps Abby is the key to help this scared girl out. There's something you know in there. I need your help. I can't do much because, well, I'm a plushie, obviously, but you can help me. Do you trust me? Abby gets out of the bed as she promises to her new friend she will head to this room to help whoever is locked in there. Where do I have to go? Well, there's a room that will bring you to this room. You should find a key there. Careful though, there's a creature that doesn't play nice. Abby stretches as she fears nothing and assures the yellow bear she'll be up for the task. No worries, Fredbear. I got this. Just lead the way. The plush turns off, leaving Abby to just go off on her own. Okay then, I'll be my way back soon. Jake wakes back from the ball pit and slowly leaves the pit as he goes back to where he was sitting. Seems time is the same and wasn't moving as he was stuck in the pit in time. Jake wonders, though, how can he go back home and help Abby without his father catching up? Right, an idea. He didn't want to be here, but it was Evan's birthday soon. It wasn't his, so perhaps he could pull an I'm sick excuse. He walks up to his father and tries to pull a sick stunt. Hey, Dad, I'm sick. I don't feel well. Can Mom take me home? William let his son leave as Jake looks sick as he tells Clara to take him back home. Fine. Do look awful, Jake. Nothing new, my boy, of course. Jake gets in the car with his mom as he plans his full motion. You, Dad. In his room, Jake pulls out his phone as he's able to quickly communicate with Abby from the other line, no longer needing the ball pit for some reason. Abby, Abby, you there? Abby is on the other side of the house. As he sees Jake looks into the cameras with his Fredbear plush. He looks to see a girl locked in the room. Abby, that's her room. But I need you to head to the TV area room on the left. Leave your room and you should see a TV there. She nods with him as he looks around the room and finds a key in the TV. This is the key. Jake looks into cameras and he examines the key. Yes, but that's not the first key, not the final key. This key will lead you into a room, to your next clue. Be careful. What lies in there is very dangerous. She puts the key in her pocket. She is in full confidence as she walks up to the door with a lock. This must be the door. Fredbear, are you in there? Jake responds to the cameras as he tries to go on with the load. Yes, I'm here. Just stay safe, hold your guard. This thing is very snapping at times. Abby opens the door. She's now looking forward into a dark hallway. Creepy. She looks up to see something in a chair. A bunny figure. Held down. The radio stops, dead in its tracks. The figure begins to quickly run across the hall so she's frozen in fear as the lights begin to flicker in her eyes. It looks like the yellow rabbit, but he's supposed to be dead. But of course not. Not anymore. Oh, hell no. Abby shines her flashlight as the plush trap moves across the room like a ghost at supersonic speed. Abby needs to get this thing at the X spot as time passes by. Three, two. She shines her light, and lucky for her, the plush trap lands on the X, dropping the second clean on the floor. Whoop! That could have gone worse. Abby runs over to grab the key as she picks it up and puts it in her pocket. Jake, I got the key. Now what? Jake from the Fredbear plush communicates back as he's quiet as he can be. Good, Abby. I need you to open that door next to you. That will lead you to the next night. Careful though. These things will be a challenge. Think you can handle it? They scared me, but if it's for the poor girl locked in there, she's more scared than me. So it's for a good cause, Fredbear. Yeah, just be careful. They get more aggressive as the night moves on. Oh, but lucky for you, the hours skip by two, so you can reach by 2 a.m. Lucky me! She brushes herself off as she opens the door to the next night. Okay, Fredbear, see you on the other end. Hopefully. Chapter 3 Night 2 and Meeting the Taken Ones. While waking up as promised, seems Fredbear was telling the truth about the skipping 2 more hours. Hey, look at that, 2 a.m. Wait a minute. Oh, crud. Noises has started, as it seems the nightmares are already starting the chaos. Abby holds her guard and quickly turns around and is able to get rid of the Freddos on her bed. Oh, come on, give me a break. We barely started. Abby can hear noises, but it's not from the doors. It's from. She turns to see three more beats with sharp teeth, twitching from one by one, spawning. Those bears. Hey, Rona, easy now. She shines and luckily enough, they leave as the breathing seems to get worse. She turns and could hear it from the right as she runs to open the door. Run one turn and her breathing, but from this one could go all the way wrong. Okay, this has to be the right door. If not, I'm done for. I'm cooked. She quickly heads to the right door as she shines her flashlight to the left door. Perhaps the light will slow the nightmares down. Stay out. I promise you'll regret entering here. Or may I regret it. Abby turns her flashlight as she no longer hears breathing. And to her correction, she's right. You better run. Yeah. Abby closes the door, running back to her bed. She's able to flash the two bears in time. Yeah, I don't think so. Stay out. She fills herself with confidence as the light will shine her way. Abby looks back. As she looks into the clock, it's going really well for her now. What was that? She heads to the other door and she sees nothing. And then runs to the next door, and nothing. Are the nightmares playing a trick on her? Seems like that's the case. Okay, I definitely hear breathing. She runs and closes the door as the clock ticks and ticks. Seems all that hard work paid off. It's already 5 a.m. Perhaps it was a good idea to open the key to the halls of the trot creature. Although, those skipping hours really helped, and breathing could be heard as Abby's flashlight begins to flicker. She was too busy with the Freddos and other things. She got distracted, and Bonnie's in her room. Oh no. Her heartbeat beats and beats, and the lights begin to flicker as Abby closes her eyes, wishing for a miracle. Don't kill me. Oh God. Her heartbeat begins to beat, but that's not the only thing that beats, as she hears the sound that leads to a bit of freedom. The sounds of pure silence, but yet so full of hope and light. It's now 6 a.m. She has survived the second night in a row. As the nightmares are gone, she's back in her room of light. She opens the door as it leads to a diner, one she begins to recognize. She begins to explore the room, so dark but yet brightened. I don't remember this place at all. Weird. How come? She isn't outside. Perhaps this door led back into the kitchen. No way, there's an actual diner in this house? She calls out for her friend, but yet again, silence, just echoes reflecting back at her. Cassidy, Fredbear, where are you? Once again, she seems to be alone here, as she's calling out, waiting for a voice. Fredbear, you still here? The voice is different this time, as the voice sounds more disturbing and more sad. Not the same as her friend's voice. The tone feels off. She left without you. Abby raises an eyebrow. She wonders who this unknown is talking about. Who are you talking about? Abby frowns, curious and worried. Cassidy, you really think she's trustworthy? She knows you hate it here. Abby ponders as she knows Cassidy well. If anything, she knows the ghost girl, of course, not hated here. Abby acts so protective. Affirms it's clear the ghost girl means a strong weakness for her. Leave her out of this. Now tell me, what I have to do to find my next clue. You're right behind the exit. If you can run, you can make it. Hurry! Run towards the exit before it's too late. Abby gets back up, and as she does, her arms are grabbed by a ghost figure. Don't go! Abby turns to see not one, but a group of kids in front of her. What is this? Who are you people? The kids introduce themselves as David, a kid who was taken just like the others here. You can call me David, Abby. Where's my ball? Your what? My ball. I was in the road once, and look, I'm just trying to find my way out of here. How do you know my name? Abby wonders, how does this kid know his name? And she sees the other kids in black tears. Who are they? We reunite to call ourselves the Taken Ones. Afton's not the only one that tricked us. This isn't real. You're having a dream. It seems so, right? A crack is heard in the distance, alarming Abby, as David warns Abby to hide before he finds her. I'm not the first. Go. Run. Hide. You know what will happen. Don't worry about us. Go before it's too late. Abby turns and looks for a location to hide. She sees a table and slides down, as she sees a yellow bear on top. The bear breathes the air, clearly knowing someone was here. Abby covers her mouth. She needs to hide her breath, or she may end up like them. No one's in here. Must be my imagination playing tricks on me. The vicar leaves as Abby just quiets slowly on the table. Tomorrow is another day. On the other side, Jake awakens in the workshop, as he is now able to see a more clearly crooked image that lays in the area. What kind of being would do such a thing? A soul of one of the taken ones appears in front of him as he walks into Jake with his answers. I'll tell you who. Jake turns around and is confronted with a lost soul. And you are? My name is Andrew. I'm one of the victims. I'm the one that almost got away. It's the blonde kid that we thought was Cassidy. He seems to know Jake. Have we met before? I don't know. Jake yawns as he looks around the room. Sleepy. You remind me of someone. Jake is shocked. He wonders if the yellow rabbit he saw is the same who made Andrew his victim. If you don't mind asking, how did you die? It's a long story. I'm just like the others. I died by his hands. It was make believe. But worse, you see. I was in the hospital bed. I was there minding my own business. The hospital staffs were taking care of me. And there is where it happened. What's going on? Why is the light flickering? I'm gonna check out the problem. The doctors go outside. A scream is heard. That was the moment I knew. He found me, and it was my time to go. The two nurses back away in fear as they get behind the door, as they hear crunches, very disturbing sounds. Nurse, run! Call the police! The body of Dr. Devon is thrown off the door. Windows, as they see him walk in, he tilts his head and one swipes their knife. Nurse, gotta get out of here! One nurse begins the rabbit as another tackles the creature to the ground, stabbing one of them with one of the needles, and then pushes to the floor. This only makes the monster laugh as he shoves his hand into the nurse's mouth, splits it open, and grabs the other nurse, stomping her face to a bloody mess. All Dr. Devon could do is watch in horror as he throws up and shakes, but he needs to protect me as much as he could. The yellow rabbit slices, while whistling in the shadows. He drags the body of the doctor, going against the glass window, into Andrew's door, shattering the glass that lies hidden below. Andrew tries to rip the plug of his bed. You're here, but why? The rabbit tilts his head as Andrew knows why he's here. He ran away, but he came back. He always comes back. The rabbit grabs a lighter and throws it in the ground as he closes the door and leaves the poor kid in the hospital to ash. That's very fucked up. I need to know though. Andrew has vanished as he lets the key to Jake, as Jake grabs the key, examining it. Is this for me? The writing on the walls reminds Jake. It is. For another. He grasps the key as he falls back into the abyss. He will find out more as he dives deeper into the pit. Chapter 4, Night 3, A Chat with Rory. The nights get worse as they go on, and Abby is getting tired. Is it real or fake? She isn't sure. All she knows is she needs to survive this twisted game if she ever wants to see the light of day ever again. 12 a.m. Let's go. We're in night 3. Woohoo! Abby turns to the right door as she sees nothing for now. As she sighs, but as she takes her deep breath, footsteps, but in her room, are heard. And oh no, it doesn't sound like it's coming for the door this time. It's coming for the closet. Foxy has arrived. Abby quickly runs to the closet. As she shines her light, a giant fox pops out. And she shines her light. A huge scare dropping to the floor in fear. Foxy, dear God! This Foxy was different though. He had teeth and a long snake-like tongue. She quickly shuts the closet, opens it multiple times, and Foxy's now a cute plushie. Adorable. Abby runs over to the closet at her side. She thinks of her next move. It has to be right. She heads to the right and shuts the door and waits for a sign that says she is safe. Breathing and scratching is right at her door. Bingo! The door is getting knocked real hard. Such animals. They are really aggressive this time. The light flashes as the nightmare is gone. But not for long, as the fox seems to be in the closet again. Oh, for God's sake! She runs and closes the closet, opens it as the fox begins to get annoyed. Go away, damn it. Abby closes the closet and opens it to see a plushie. That's better. Abby runs to her bed and flashes the three Fredos in time, but she hears more noises to the right. At least she thinks it's the right. Get away, you pest. The closet is making noise again, and Abby's flashlight is flashing again. She quickly runs over and shuts the nightmares out. One, two, three, four. A noise is heard from both sides that Abby has to make a choice. Oh, please play nice. She runs over to the other door, and this time the breathing suspect gets right in her face. Oh God, how much time is left? She's able to check on the clock, ask her eyes. All she's focused on is survival. Flashing lights knock her flashlight, and she turns just in time to remove the feathers from forming. Barking could be heard, but that doesn't sound like it's from my house. Do I have a dog? And why don't dogs save me? The breathing stops as Abby is now starting to feel stressed. Her sanity is getting worse. One wrong move, she's a goner. She runs to the closet, and the closet opens as Foxy has entered her room with the hook. Wait, no, have mercy, please don't. As her eyes closes, she hears the sound of light. It's 6 a.m. Clocks beeping as the nightmares have vanished. I did it. My dear, I did it. 2 days to the party. The pit feels so hollow. Let's go. Thanks. That's a huge W. You made it to 2 days to the party. The pit feels so hollow at times, so empty for Jake. What lies under here? Who knows? A hand reaches out to him. As he is lifted up by the hand, as a figure speaks to him. He's unable to see the face of the hooded figure, as the one speaking to him has a mask. Why do you hide under that mask? I want to know your name. Trust me, you really don't want to know my name. If you saw how I look like, it would be very devastating. The figure has female-like hair, as the figure wears a puppet clown-like mask, as the figure pulls out a flashlight and gives it to Jake. Here, you're gonna need this. The female figure walks around that dark area, as Jake follows behind. Perhaps he will learn more as he goes. This pit, do you know anything about how it works? Jake wonders if time moves in the pit. It feels so shallow and slow. I'm not sure. I feel trapped at times. Others here aren't sure either, but what matters is that we have each other. Jake smiles as the hooded figure smiles back. Come on, we're almost there. Where are we going? The answers. You still have that key Andrew gave you? Jake is in shock. The girl knows Andrew. Was she part of the taken ones? Wait, you know Andrew? Well, yeah. I know about everybody. We all do about here. Everybody, we are like family here to each other. After all, it's all we got. The figure moves over some boxes and she pulls over a nearby box and finds out what she was looking for. Found it. Jake takes a peek but is shoved by the female figure. No, not right now. Some things are left forgotten. Jake wonders why can't he see what's in the box? What if this girl forgets? Well, might as well forget this box's secrets. What are you trying to hide from me? The soul stands still as her hoodie is slowly removed from her arms. You don't trust me, do you? Jake doesn't want to seem mean, but he barely met this girl. Do you trust me? I do, it's just that, you know, just what are the secrets that you keep? The girl slowly removes her hoodie as she turns around and shows her purple, rotten skin. Save them! Jake falls once again into the abyss. As he is losing his vision to see, all he can hear is the word save them and repeat. Only one question he has now. How? His eyes closes but another opens. Abby's eyes has awoken back on the table. As the yellow figure is gone, What is happening? Was this a dream or a nightmare? A voice tells her she can't give up yet. This isn't how she needs to finish her story. She needs to keep going. You have to get up. I. Who are you? Look, we can get out of this in time, but we need to hurry. Quick! Abby wipes her tears as the kid is calling himself. Who are you again? Why should I follow you? The name's Worry. At least I think it is. Look, there was this yellow rabbit. That's all I know. Yellow rabbit? A dream? Hallucination? Worry? Here he has taken us to this place where hopes and dreams come to die. Yeah, I don't remember much, but he promised us so much more. And what happened with Worry? All your parents. I ran away from them. And for the others, they were taken, manipulated by the rabbit. Some still think he's a good figure, but we, oh no, no, we know the truth. And why not stop the hallucinations? That's the thing. We aren't sure about how to do that. Look, let me help you. I need to at least help the ones that were taken from them. You two need help too. It's too late for us. I'm not real in this hallucination. I'm just a ghost. What? I'm a ghost too. I was killed by Afton. He took my ball and led me to the streets, and the rest is history. My eyes flashed before my knife and the truck hit me. But there was a voice David heard. It sounded so familiar. That sound. But I blacked out the moment where I wasn't able to pick out who I saw. That figure is very manipulated. He knows what will happen if you try to mess with him. Abby wonders what her next plan and gets to snapping her fingers to the beat. I think it's time I stop him now. Abby walks away as she does. Worry and David vanish into the dust. Guys, where did you go? She moves on, hoping for their safety, and continues the path. Walking down the road, she spots a pigtail girl just standing there with a blank dead expression. That's not the only thing she sees. Wait a second. Is that Fredbear? She ignores the plush and walks up to the girl, but the girl slowly creeps her out by these words. You better watch out. I hear they come to life at night, and if you die, they hide your body and never tell anyone. Abby is creeped out by this, and she turns to see Rory once again. Hello there. Geez, Rory, what's up? It's true. My body was taken. Seen at the pizzeria years ago. But now, all gone. Abby looks in worry as the pigtail girl pulls a weird smile. Why do you look so worried? See you at the party. She laughs uncontrollably as Abby just decides to leave the area. Okay, he's gone once again. Nowhere to be seen, just like a ghost. Abby shrugs it off as she continues her journey. And as she does, she finds what looks to be a teen in a green shirt in the floor. Does he need help? She walks up to him just to get quickly insulted by the guy. You're that kid that hid under the table and cried. No one else here was scared. Stop being such a baby. Feeling insulted, she leaves the area crying. She didn't want to deal with all this right now. As the green shirt guy is laughing, Cassidy Soul is seen in the distance. As she sees what unfolded and is very angry. God, what a crying mess you. Noises stop as Bernard slowly begins to shake. Who goes there? I said leave her alone. Cassidy Soul somehow was able to take control of the plants and other objects and puts that to her advantage. You won't hurt her ever again. You hear me? Leonard looks all over the area, and as he walks into the road, is quickly thrown off the cliff by Cassidy. The adult is seen as his fate is sealed by a plague. All Cassidy can do is watch, but rest assured that Abby's in good hands. As Abby continues her walk, she spots a chubby kid with a balloon. It reminds her of that annoying balloon boy kid from 11 years ago. It's been that long? The kid is very energetic as he speaks in a loud voice, same as that balloon boy kid. Coincidence? I think not. Hey, you're going to that party, of course. Of course you are. Everybody's going to their party. It's your party after all. What does everyone mean by Abby's party? Is it her birthday today? Abby keeps walking as she does and makes it back home. Finally, home and the Fredbear plush is right on the couch again. Be careful! Abby turns to see someone has locked the door to the left. She decides to go right and back to her room. It's been a long day. And as she does, out of nowhere, a masked fox figure scares her, and all she can do is crumble to the floor in tears and sorrow. Tomorrow is another day. We made it night 4. Let's go. My sanity, this reality. How long can you go on for? You sure your fate is in your good hands? The night has once again begun. As Abby clicks her flashlight, but the light isn't working this time. The heck is this? She hits it again and again as the lights begin to work. She begins to fear sound from the back. Why is it that you always begin to annoy me? Why? But this time, They are quicker. Abby is able to pick up on that. She runs to the door to the left and shines her light. Nothing. She goes back and automatically sees two more in her bed. I just got rid of you. She heads to the closet as she swears she heard breathing. It was just from the left. She runs to the left and listens closely. It's from the right. She runs to the right and was correct. Bonnie was breathing right at her door. She was able to close it in time as her lights began to flicker. Come on, Bonnie, I don't have all day. She runs straight to the other door, hoping Bonnie left as Chica breathes in and out. Creepy. Don't do that. The lights flicker again and again, and it's weird since where's Foxy? Is he taking a break? She hears a noise from the left, but swifts to back in time to get rid of three Freddys with teeth. Heck yeah. She runs to the left and shuts it. While running to the door, she hears the sound of freedom. That was quick. It's 6 a.m. The clock is beeping as she once again falls to the floor and everything fades to black. One day into the party. She awakens back in a locked room as she tries to be aware of her surroundings. What happened? My head. Ah. She has awoken in a room of empty suits. It reminds her of the old place 16 years ago. She looks into the door and bunches the lock. Let me out! Let me out! She plunges and kicks the door as no one hears her screams. Please! There's no way out. She falls to the ground in tears. Let me out! She closes her eyes, hoping that tomorrow is another day. The keys hold to what you keep. The keys hold to the secrets to what you keep. Wake up and you will find what you are looking for. Jake wakes up as he sees the answers he was looking for. One last door opens only for him. This one in particular seems to be his door. Is this my door? Should I enter? He thinks about it for a moment, tapping his foot, but the sounds of children crying and screaming convinces him, as he wants to play hero and save them. I have to save those kids. Hold on, I'm coming to save you. Jake runs over to the door as his mind begins to get fuzzy and fuzzy, as he can hear multiple flashes in his head, begins to get glitchy. His sanity, his voice begins to mock him. You won't die, you won't die. You could have saved us. Help me, do you see me? Don't hold it against us, don't hold it against us. The flashing of screams and suffering begin to hurt Jake, as he doesn't care as he's close to the door that keeps the answers he was looking for. Shut up! He opens the door and shuts it, as the only voice he hears is a familiar one. It tells him to look up to the writing into the walls. He does, as his commands freeze in horror as he is forced to watch. You should have done that. Jake turns around and witnesses something that scares him, something he never wanted to see in his lifespan. Are those bodies? The rotting corpse with a burned face is seen in the body bag, as a soul in tears has a face peeled off, and another is a hook into a meat hook. Looks like Foxy's hook? Screaming and crying are forced into his mind as he yells in pain. The crying and crying gets louder, as Jake can feel the children suffering. These aren't the only kids he did this to. There's more. Jake turns to see a ghost girl walk up to him in tears, as he wants to know why he is here in such a disgusting area. What happened to these children? How did this happen? Cassidy's in silence. She has seen some terrible things. Tell me what happened. Jake's voice is raised up, as Cassidy's eyes are full of tears. She shakes as Jake gets his answer. He is dragged into the darkness corner, as he once again sees the yellow rabbit in its full glory. I warned you. You may not be as you seem, Jake. Did you really know who your father was? The rabbit pulls out an image as he hangs them one by one, as Jake looks close at each of them. What does this have to do with me? Wait and just keep watching. The rabbit in the desk pulls on the desk and a picture of what looks to be like panic. His heartbeat grows. This can't be. Dad? Sure enough, the rabbit removes his mask to show William Afton, the man behind the slaughter, the one who killed those kids and those other murders. Jake's in shock as Cassidy tells him to watch for one more surprise. You know that girl you saw in that room? The one your father hid in the well? William adds the ripped image next to another photo, gluing it back in place, as it shows that Jake has another sister, it seems, but was hidden away, that it seems William was very disappointed in her. I hated this one very much. It was a mistake. Burn it! The man rips out the photo as he drops it to the ground and burns the ripped image to the ground apart. Jake looks in fear as he cannot believe he is his father, his own blood. He was not who he thought he was. He knew he was a very crooked man indeed. Does that mean he was a very bad man like this? I'm sorry you had to find this out, little one. Jake backs away in fear as the floor he stands in fades away and he's left to wonder his horrible thoughts. Am I a monster too? Night 5 and the grand reveal. We made it to night 5. Night 5. Woo! Night 5. Night 5. The grand reveal. This is the last night. Okay, you monsters. Let's end this once and for all. For a few minutes, the night feels so empty. No one seems to be around. Huh. Why is no one? Alright. Run, Abby, before it's too late. Abby hears laughter. It's deep. Too deep for her liking. And she gets ready to check. It's coming from the far right, and she turns her attention to every corner she finds. She runs and sees nothing for now. She hears the laughter again. It's coming from the closet. Not Foxy again. As she gets closer, her light glitches as the laughter is deep and she spots a yellow bear. Fredbear? There's only one in her room now. She quickly looks behind her and sees the bear teleport from door to door, dashing to the halls, not giving her time to think. Okay, Abby, go as quick as you can. Your feet can take you. She hears the deep laughter and shuts it to see Fredbear with large teeth. Just in time, she closes it, and the lights begin to scare the monster away. He's quick. He can teleport. The bear quickly begins the laughter and teleports to the other side, as Abby's head just barely makes it. She closes the door and waits. The laughter is now in her closet as she runs to check. Come on, come on. She tries to see it's coming from her right now. She runs in and closes to hear nothing, just laughter from the left now. Come on, left in. She heads straight to the left and nothing as her lights begin to flicker and almost blinding her. Laughter is heard on the right as she shines, and as she's about to close the door, it becomes 6 a.m. She has survived the final chapter as the beating is heard in the distance. It wakes her to a dark red room, bringing her back to a quiet place full of dust and sorrow. Open, if you dare. Abby walks slowly into the door. She's about to open. She is stopped by a voice. Don't! She turns to see a boy in brown hair, full of tears with a bunny plush full of despair. Why is it that this boy doesn't want her to open the door? What lurks in that door that the kid didn't want Abby to see? What happens when you open this door? The kid walks up to her, shows his face. Barely visible, he introduces himself as Oswell. He's the group of the Taken Ones, the main leader. Bet you already met Worry and David. I'm the final soul you'll be meeting. Please, do not open that door. A voice in Abby's mind tells her to open the door, or she won't be able to continue her mission. Look, kid, I'm really sorry about this. Without warning, she opens the door. As Oswald screams are heard in the back. She closes the doors quickly. She turns to see the kid has vanished. Nowhere to be seen. Gone once again. Out of nowhere, a touch on her shoulder shocks her, and she turns to see a figure with mask. She grabs a nearby crowbar. She tries to defend herself against the figure. Who are you? The figure removes the mask and tries to calm Abby down by saying, he isn't an enemy. I'm not your enemy. My name is Edwin Murray. You just happen to be in my workshop. Your workshop? Abby takes a look around the area as Edwin lets Abby make herself feel at home. This place, it used to be brighter, but things have changed since he moved here. Who are you referring to when you say he? Edwin Murray covers himself with the hat, covering his face full of sorrow as the screams are in his mind. Them kids. I could have done something about it. Edwin Murray looks at the scattered papers and the floor as he slams his table and sits in his whip chair. Who's that in the photo of you, young man asking? He's one of those kids, wasn't he? Edwin wipes the dust off the pictures as the tear falls on the photo of the son he once had. Poor David. Only the rabbit didn't go after the ball with him. The name David hits Abby. She met David before. Was Edwin's David's father? You're David's dad, I assume. He's your son. Yep, was my son. Abby's getting answers as keeps talking with the broken man in the chair. What happened with the yellow rabbit? And that ball? What did he say about this place? Those kids? Edwin wipes his tears, taking a deep breath as he tells Abby that, well, it's a scary thing that one could become. My son? It all happened so quickly. She she didn't mean to do it, but she couldn't stop what was destined to happen, and well, a moment in Edwin Murray's mind shows the good old days. You see, we were a family. David was like any other kid. He was smart, creative. He was the best kid a father could have had. I would have never asked for anything else but him. Even my wife was proud of the situation. Her blindness, at times, even though made her sad, I always told her a little bit of advice she held close to her heart. a heart she kept for one, even our family, even for David. What's the thing Dad always said? Fiona, who needed a machine bot to help her sit, tells her these exact words. Don't worry, for what always happens next, will always remain in your heart, and hand and soul forever together. Hannah, boy, that's what I'm talking about. David sees his father as hype as ever, as he sees Fiona could only hear him, not see him. Dear, is that you? Edwin smiles as he assures his wife that he's the one that enters the room. Yes, it's me. Everything's gonna be okay. Edwin is on the phone as he was told by the eye doctor that there's a chance to cure his wife's blindness. Dear, come. I have good news to show you. Hey, David, you too. David is excited as he has this ball he won recently, as he really wanted to play catch with his father. Hey, Dad, I was wondering, I heard that the ice cream truck was coming in. I wanted to know if we can play some catch. No problem, son. Just give me a minute to speak with your mom. That moment was a tragic one. I should have never let him go outside by himself. My name's David. I want some ice cream. Where's my ball? A whistle catches David's attention as he looks up to see a smiling bunny watching him. Uh, who are you? It's the yellow rabbit. Nice ball. Do you want it back? David's ball was all the way where the yellow rabbit was, and he was looking at him, creepy. I am the yellow rabbit, of course. Your friend. My parents tell me not to talk to strangers. The yellow rabbit grins as he manipulates the kid with revealing the ball. Oh, come on, kid. Don't you want your ball back? Come, follow me. The rabbit hands his hand out as David gets in. Okay, I'm heading over for my ball, yellow rabbit guy. David runs over to the road. As he does, Edwin and Fiona leave the house and witnesses David on the road. David, look out! A ice cream truck driver looks up as he sees the kid on the road, and David turns around and all he can do is watch as the truck runs him over. It's gonna hit me! Ow! Edwin watches in horror as his wife Fiona, blind, can only hear the cries of her husband as she breaks down. My baby! My poor baby! No! The death of a son could affect a parent real badly. Edwin learns this the hard way. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. I should have never told him to go outside by himself. These words stop Fiona in her tracks as her tone changes. You what? Look, he said he wanted to go outside and Fiona slaps her husband's face, as she can't believe her own love could be this foolish. How could you let him out of your sight? Our baby boy is gone, and now I can't even see his body because of this. Ah! Fiona slams the door in front of Edwin's face as he leaves the man standing in the front porch. Honey, I'm sorry, I really am. It begins to rain as Edwin is left behind, sitting in tears as he looks back at the body of his son next to the burning truck. But hope arrives as a man in the hoodie walks up to him, giving him a chance to what he thinks fixes his mistake. What seems to trouble you? Look, it doesn't matter. Why would you care? Well, your son's not dead yet. Wait, what are you saying? The figure pulls on their hand as they speak in a deep tone. Follow me, and you can see David again. Edwin thinks about it for a moment. What about Fiona? Would she be alright alone? Although she is stressed right now, maybe leaving her alone will be the best option. Okay, I trust you. Edwin's hand is out, his hand to the figure, as he tells the hooded figure to wait. Can you excuse me for a second? Let me just tell my wife I'll be gone for a while. He knocks on the door, hoping for a response. Hun, I know you might be angry at me, but oh, you don't want to talk right now, but I won't be here for a while. I have to do something that might change our predicament. I promise it'll be for the best. Holding his hand next to the door, Edwin closes his eyes as the wedding ring falls off his finger. The figure giving gives out his hand to the crying man as the manipulation is working to plan. What Edwin doesn't know, his wife was already on the ground, dead, as she has poisoned herself due to overdosing. What a day, right? You look lonely. I could fix that, don't you think? The rain falls on Edwin as he pulls his hoodie on and opens his umbrella and follows where the figure leads him. I was a man trying his best to bring the wife what she wanted. I knew back it was all in vain, as her and David were long gone, and soon I was going to be gone too. The figure leads Edwin into a dark basement, as Edwin is starting to get worried. Look, I really need to get going. I don't have much time to spend. Oh, but don't you want your son back? Edwin changes his mind as he gets back on his feet, following the figure into a door. Fine, just make it quick. The figure brings Edwin to an unclosed area, as now the figure slowly removes his cloth. You know, I never asked what your name was. Well, it's time for you to learn what it is. I am the Mimic. Edwin sees what seems to be a corpse-like figure looking down at him. Where are you? Where are you? Where's my son? Your son? He's gone. I just needed you here to thank you for making me. Making you? Unfortunately, something went so wrong, and I wasn't able to pick up the hints. You will pick up the clues as we speak. In a blur, the mimic goes behind Edwin, and it all went so quick. I blinked out, and now I'm here. And what happened with the kids? You know any info about them? Them kids. It wasn't their fault that they followed the yellow rabbit, and I paid the price. Edwin gets up as he walks into the closet and reveals a secret that he's been hiding from the world and himself. I knew the whole time about the kids and Afton. But there was something he said that he made me not tell the police. You see, a flashback to the one moment cuts to a young Edwin where he used to have innocence. The police and news reporter leave the area as a man signs and sees William smiling while shoving a yellow bear suit into a man. Thanks, pal. You saved me. Now I just need you to wear this, and I saw the man shove the suit. Well, I thought it was forced. I wasn't sure. A young Edwin sees blood on the rabbit's hands as he turns to see the once happy machines leave the area as they shut it down for the TV to static. Edwin tells himself, are the children those things? And one night he gets those answers. William wasn't there at least. I thought he wasn't. I thought I was gonna die. A young Edwin runs as he spots more children getting lured by a yellow rabbit. As he runs to follow the rabbit, he needs to be careful and to not be caught by him, the one they call the yellow rabbit, as the chairs fall, not making a sound to his luck. While running off, he opens the door and witnesses the first, as he sees the bodies of the kids tied to the chairs. What did he do to them, exactly? Edwin runs to the kids as he speaks with Susie, the one who isn't wrapped with tape or knocked out. Hey, you okay? Wake up. Susie's in panic as the other kids are knocked out. As Edwin looks around for a sharp object to get Susie out of there. Look, I'm gonna get you out of here, okay? I humming is loud enough to scare Edwin as his face gets shaken as he doesn't know what to do. I'm sorry. He leaves as his promise. He leaves as his promises to find no matter what. He pinky promises to find help. Look, my name's Susie. You pinky promise? Remember, you can't break a pinky promise, right? Help us. It's true. A pinky promise cannot be broken. Once you know this already, it's a lesson that's well known at the moment of time. Edwin promises the scared soul with his life. He hides in the sidelines as he watches the yellow rabbit in the shadows with a sinister grin arrive. The rabbit removes his mask and pulls out a knife and cackles. You want a game? I'll give you a game. The kids get back away as Edwin is too scared to move as he watches the yellow rabbit shut the door on the kids. Big mistake leaving your parents behind. Right, kids? You should have done that. Susie gets up as she pushes her friends to the side to avoid the knife swipe. Go! Now! She holds the knife and is able to land a few scratches on the yellow rabbit's body. She tackles the rabbit to the ground, and she grabs the knife from the floor and grabs it. This is for my dog, you son of a fighter. I see. Oh, let's see if you will fight when I do this. Another knife stabs Susie right in front of her feet as the rabbit pushes her to the walls. Susie, you okay? Fritz the fighter as he runs up to the rabbit, getting back on his feet. Fritz uses his teeth, opening his jaw and bites part of the rabbit's ear off with no hesitation. You annoying little shit. Enough games. Fritz runs to the exit and slowly grabs the handle and his eyes slowly pop out of his body in shock. The man grins as he gets closer to the poor soul and stabs him from his stab wounds as he yells, Silly kids! There's no escaping my attraction. The rabbit twists the knife sideways and lifts it up and throws the poor soul to the ground. Cassidy, tries to fight back, but is thrown into the ground as well. The rabbit grabs her neck and throws her body to the ground. Like a ghost, her body could barely be seen, but the others are seen headless, alone, and scared. Susie looks at Germany getting sliced by the yellow rabbit as the rabbit plays with him like a puppet. The yellow rabbit is about to slice the final blow until Susie stops him from doing so. Susie yells in fear, but she isn't sure what to do anymore. Everything is happening so fast all of a sudden. Where's my dog? You promised you said you. The yellow rabbit turns around with Gray's body, laughing as he finishes the job. He tilts, jumping and laughing, his head up and down and cleaning the wipe off the poor soul's shirt. The yellow rabbit pulls out something that makes Susie white out, as he uses the soul's body to keep mimicking the dog's voice, pretending to puppet the creature. I'm right here. Susie's about to scream, but the yellow rabbit grabs her mouth and she begins to kick and scream, but is unable to. How about we'll shut you up for good? Her neck is slowly suffocating as her eyes fade away. The yellow rabbit's eyes are all white as he cackles in a sinister way. Leave her alone. The rabbit looks up to see Jeremy getting up as he's trying to fight back. He won't die, not yet. He runs to the yellow rabbit with his fist, but falls to the ground to the bleeding of the wounds. Susie tries to scream as her mouth is no longer covered by the yellow rabbit's hands. A quick bite, but unfortunately, the yellow rabbit snaps her neck, making her faint, quick, less painful. And she's no longer alive as Edwin saw everything. He was the one who witnessed the first murders, and he could have done something about it and prevented it, if only. As a child, this moment scarred him for life. He knew this moment would come back to haunt him in the future. The yellow rabbit sees all the kids' bodies, and she tries to think of a way to hide them. He thinks the animatronics. Of course, no one will find them in there, is what the rabbit thinks. Edwin watches as he can feel the rabbit's evil, as he slowly watches the bodies of the kids forced inside them. No one will find these useless kids in there. The rabbit sticks the kids' bodies in the robots, as the soul begins to shake non-stop. You go on Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy, and for the dog, and put the tiny party brain on a cupcake and just cook for dinner. That's how evil William was. The yellow rabbit looked at the exit as he turns back to the suits and leaves the pizzeria in his purple car. I was gonna do something to help them, but I couldn't because I was scared. Abby from her lungs screams as she wants to know the rest of Edwin's story. Well, what happened then? Tell me what happened. Edwin breaks down as he isn't able to finish the story. Trust me, kid. You don't want to know the rest. Abby slams Edwin's papers on the floor, screaming from her lungs as she shouts from the workshop. It sounds so painful. She doesn't care as long as Edwin hears that is what matters. I don't care. Tell me your story. Edwin wipes the tears off his eyes as his scars follows his darkness as he continues his tragic horror story. Unfortunately, that never ended up the case, as the yellow rabbit manipulated me in the end. Those kids' fate ended up in my hands because of me. Abby's in shock as Edwin's eyes are full in tears. He drops some breakdowns as Abby's asks why he was alive, why he was the one left out there. What about you? Do you know anything about where or what this place is? Edwin is in the floor now, puts himself together as he's no longer able to talk or communicate. I think it's time for you to go. What? Edwin pulls out of nowhere a gun as Abby watches in horror. My God, what are you doing? The man falls into the floor as he drops his photo on the ground as Abby walks up to Edwin in tears. Hey, it's gonna be okay, okay? Wake up, please, wake up. Edwin grabs something from the ground and gets it from his pocket as he gives Abby one more thing. Look, the key card. It's a key to a box I hid in this location. It will shine when you find it. I don't have much time. Be careful on your journey, old sport. Edwin dies as he bleeds out as Abby stands up in tears. Edwin? He is now with his son and wife, David and Fiona, and the afterlife. Hopefully, peace at last. Abby brushes herself off as she continues on her journey to the unknown as she opens a secret door to the next night. Nightmare mode. A text pops in her face as she hears a voice in her mind once again. Are you sure? It scares her, but then she gets calm again as it's just Cassidy. Jeez, Cassidy, don't scare me like that. Where were you this whole time? It's been a stressful time around here. Cassidy tags her hair as she pops out in front of Abby, booping her nose. Look, I really wanted to be here with you, but for some reason, something or someone prevented me from doing so. Abby ponders as she thought the Fredbear plush was Cassidy. Was that not her? And that Fredbear plush, is that not you? Cassidy tilts her head as she did not understand who Abby was talking about. She was not here the whole time. Who? You know what? Never mind. Why are you here now? Cassidy points to the final room, as the room has voices, deep voices. This room looks different than the others. Why is that? This time, you can't go in alone. I need you to go in with me. Abby did not know that Cassidy was going to join her this night. Well, at least she won't be alone. Cassidy hands open the door as Abby walks in the door, closes it in for itself for the final night. Nightmare mode. Hello, everybody. We got nightmare mode. We got nightmare mode. Hold on, I'm gonna get some water. I'm so thirsty, guys. Nightmare mode. Let's go. Guys, I gotta be honest. I never beat FNAF 4. The only FNAF games I beat was FNAF 1 and 2. Maybe FNAF 3, but that was on luck. We made it to night 4. Woohoo! FNAF 4. Nightmare mode. Alright. The first 4 hours of the night will be similar to before, but Bonnie and Chico will frequently be at the doors. Check the closet often, as Foxy will be more active. The small Freddy bears will appear faster than in nightmare mode. And finally, the most important thing you should know for once and for all, at 4 a.m., Nightmare will activate. To avoid him, listen and instead of using a flashlight, if you hear him at the door, close it, and wait for the footsteps as they will back away, and that's when you are safe for now. It's best to listen for the center of the room to determine his location, rather than moving between doors, as he will change his position quickly. You got all that? Good. Stay safe, friend. Toodaloo! The night has begun, as both have their flashlight and are ready for the gig. As Abby gives out the commands, her head begins to feel pain as Cassidy worries for her friend, as she knows something is not right. Hey, you okay? Yeah, just follow my lead. Cassidy knows something is up with Abby, but isn't sure what, as Abby reads out the instructions. Okay, check the door on your right before it's too late. Cassidy runs to the right with her lights, as Abby flashes with her lights. The small bears give her no time, scaring the both of them. Okay, none of that, please. The breath is heard as Cassidy closes the door right in front of her, as she can sense the monsters that hide in the shadows. Abby herself can hear a sound in the closet, as she zooms over the closet, and sure enough, it's Foxy. Sharp's hook barely a scratch, as the fox is unable to catch his prey. No longer a threat because of the lights that shine bright. Cassidy runs over to the left and closes the door as Chica is there, all ripped and bloodless, while using her light as a guide. At the same time, she questions what happened to the ones she calls friends. You all look so different. What happened to my best friends? On the other side of the room, Abby closes the closet and opens it again. She repeats the same pattern until she sees the plushie form again. The side of Foxy was not so scary to see. Not anymore. Meanwhile, on the other side, Cassidy leaves the left in time to remove the 3 small bears from the back. With her light, Abby can hear Bonnie from the right as she zooms to the right to close the door shut. Sounding not like before, sending a command like a leader out of the lungs, she gives out like she never had before. Cassidy! Quick, to the left! Seems Chica is in the left as Cassidy is close by it as she shuts it open while lighting the bears away in a turn. I got you! Abby is locked in as she runs to the closet, closing it tightly until she sees Foxy turn normal again. As Cassidy walks behind her to remove the tea creatures, Abby spends no time to remove the nightmares from the other door. They are getting quicker and quicker. As Abby looks into the closet, a time keeps ticking and it has no intention of stopping. Abby looks behind her, as she sees no Freddles, but hears breath in the closet. As the beast tries and gets out once more, not that Abby has anything to say about it. Closet! Foxy is zooming out of the closet, but Cassidy shuts it tightly as she keeps zooming over the areas. The two nightmares are in both doors, at the same time giving our main leads a hard time as they ponder over a plan that will hopefully work in their favor. Go, now! Abby goes to the left, while Cassidy goes to the right, shutting both of them as they wait for some breathing. The sanity begins to deepen as the entire room feels so dizzy. The minds are breaking as the two are unsure of what's going on anymore. Are they gone now? I think. The closet makes noises, as Abby quickly shuts it again and again, as now noises of laughter is heard. Deep and deep, no longer the same tone, Abby's goosebumps begin to fill. This is a new one. The Big Bad, they call him. Abby turns around, her flashlight flickers nonstop. As Cassidy freezes as the big nightmare points at her, she recognizes this figure. They met before. As Abby looks back at Cassidy, as her minds begin to break. Is everything okay? What's happening? Cassidy falls to the ground as she tries to point at the nightmare in her bed, as she sees the creature laughing at her face. Leave her alone. She turns slowly and sees a dark Freddy with red bloodshot eyes, full of sharp teeth. Abby, look out! Abby turns as she sees Nightmare with red eyes, about to open her red white teeth, and is about to jump scare her until the clock beeps 6 a.m., ending the nightmare as everything Abby sees goes blank in her eyes. But this time, the night doesn't send her back to a bright room. It sends her to the final door. She is now face to face with a video player in her face. Play me. But where? Scarring her. A door begins to knock in the distance, and Abby wonders if she should enter. A voice in her mind tells her to enter the room, as she does. The final chapter. She grabs the video player and places it on a nearby counter. While entering the room, it closes in on itself, as now Abby's in the room, alone, as she is shocked herself by a TV full of static. I'm guessing this is where I played the tape. She dusts off the video player and enters the tape as she is taken by a scene and watches a video that she wishes she never laid her eyes upon. As the tape shatters the footage, all Abby could hear is screaming. The sounds are so disturbing. As the screams are getting louder and louder, and the cries are getting worse. Abby tries to get the tape out, but stops when an image of missing kids posters show up in front of her. Posters. Missing. Gabriel. Last seen, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Jeremy. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Missing. Missing. Susie. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Missing. Fritz. The kids scream louder and louder as Abby tries to pull out the tape in desperation. She no longer wanted to hear their suffering. Not anymore. As much as she tried, the tape felt stuck in there, and as she tried to pull it out, the image stops, pulled off something that froze her to the core. The footage showed the yellow rabbit shoving parts of Max into a shredder. And what he did is horrible. It made Abby stick to her stomach, and she can't believe what she is seeing. You useless souls, all for nothing, dumb. It's no good in you. Abby could hear the squishiness of blood, and Max's entire body being forced into the Shadow Freddy robot. She watches it as it's all she can do for now. Max? That isn't all the rabbit is doing. With the knife slices parts of Jeff open to give him a scar, a message, a little puzzle piece for him. It's not the only one, but the others. The scar, from what Abby could see, looks like a hook mark. Does that mean the animatronics were not the one that did the final kill? They were just kids after all. They didn't kill people. It was him. She keeps watching as the rabbit turns around with a grin and punches the screen as Abby falls to the ground and the screen turns to the next sequence. The sequence shows a smiling girl in the dark corner as all Abby could do is watch as the girl looks back at her. The shadow of the girl turns into a widened grin as she begins to speak in a text to Abby. Do you remember me? Abby's hands reaches out. The grinning girl reaches out to the two. Feels like a strange connection. Feels evil, but right. Who are you? I should be asking you the same question. Type these numbers if you want to know my secret. Follow these numbers and you will discover the truth. Follow me. Abby follows as each room's numbers are the keys. She was given to open a new room as it shines bright in her eyes. Where are we going? Follow me. Abby has no choice but to follow the girl and follow her instructions as the final door opens to her command. She reaches out, and as she does, the door closes in on itself. Wait a minute! The girl is now gone. As Abby wanders into the room, looking for a light, anything to help her see. It's kind of dark in here. Light would be nice about now. All of a sudden, a screen in the back plays a melody that leads Abby to a screen that plays some old footage. What is this? The screen makes a countdown slowly as Abby sits on the floor to watch the tragedy she's about to witness. She looks closer to see her brother in a waiting room. Mike? That's not the only person she sees. There's a girl with a grin, and she looks like the girl Abby was chasing earlier. With an evil grin, smile, and grin, white like a cartoon villain, it seems, very aggressive at first. My mommy says you're gonna die alone. What the? A lady walks up and grabs her daughter and apologizes, feeling bad, but then takes a moment to look at who is she talking to. The lady apologizes, but then sees Mike and then brushes him off, as he is now written her apologies. Oh, never mind, daughter. Leave the sleepy man alone. Watch a woman. The lady spills her entire drink on Mike as the two leave the area, but the girl is stopped by a yellow rabbit, as she is caught out as she looks for a moment. Hey there, kiddo. Do you like birthday cake? I heard you were having a birthday earlier. Chili could hear her mom calling her, but she knew her mom wasn't going to get cake anytime soon. It wouldn't hurt to get some cake, right? Fine, I'll have some cake, yellow rabbit bunny. The rabbit reaches his hand out as he asks the little girl her name. The girl's mind begins to get all fuzzy. She forgot her name. I don't remember my name, Yellow Bunny Man. The yellow rabbit ponders, snapping his fingers. Bingo! I know what your name could be. Cassidy. Do you like that name? That's a nice name. Yeah. The rabbit reaches out as he takes the one called Cassidy, real name Chili, away from her mom, as Mike was walking from the distance, as Abby watches in horror. Cassidy, Cassidy, get away from there. The screams are in vain, as Abby knows how this story ends. Mike looks as he didn't think much of it, but Abby knows well the tragedy that is about to occur. Chili and others were taken to the pizzeria, and well, the rest you can already tell what happened already. The kids went missing. Their bodies were never found. As a paper pops out on Abby's face in the front of the screen. 5 children reported missing. Suspect convicted. 5 children are now linked to the incident at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. A man in the cartoon mascot lured them into the back. While the suspect has been charged, the bodies themselves were never found. Tragedy. But that isn't the last of the tapes. As the tapes begin to scratch itself, winding into a brand new sequence that will forever leave a scar in Abby's life, forever and ever until the end. Chapter 7 My Darkest Desire. The tape opens to the start of something tragic, as it seems to be a kid's death. But the kid looks familiar. His voice, the screen was so full of static, it was barely visible, but it was a voice Abby recognized. The video cuts to see a kid looking at some plushies as they are about to earn plush trap until an older kid arrives with his friends up to no good. They seem to be bullies from what Abby could tell. We see one in a foxy mask pop out as he attacks one of his buddies. Sup, nerd? What you doing? The kid backs up in tears as he doesn't want to be involved with this older kid's shenanigans. You're scaring me. Leave me alone. The older of the group kids laugh with his Chica mask as he mocks the kid's tone of voice. Oh, look, he's crying. A friend of the kids go up to the bullies, standing up to him, doing anything to stop the bullies from hurting her best friend. Can it? Why do you all have to be so mean on his birthday? Oh, can it, loser? The bullies push the girl to the floor as she has a small nosebleed and tears from her eyes. They continue to bully the kid as they all look down at him in vain. I can't believe you need a girl to help you with your fights, bro. You're such a wimp. He turns as he thinks of a fun prank that will end up not being as fun as the crew thought it was. Say, since it's your birthday, let's give you a birthday gift, Evan. Yeah, I heard Fredbear wants to give you a big kiss. The bullies grab Evan as he's crying for his life. As he begins to yell, it can be heard across the diner. No, stop! I don't want to. He smiles while picking the poor kid up, while the kids scatter his arms in fear. Guys, you heard him. He wants to get closer. The bullies make their countdown. 3, 2, 1. The kid's head is on Fredbear's mouth as he cries and yells, but in spite of all that, it's no use. The tears activate. The spring locks, and it happens. Please, the tears fall, and his head is bitten off, not letting the poor birthday boy finish the sentence or continuing the life he could have had. On his birthday, too. Shaking his friend's paws, as screaming is heard from the diner. Shake? What did you do? A man runs just to see the kid's lifeless body, and his head's bleeding to the floor, and he pulls out his phone and stress, praying for a miracle that never comes. 911? Yes, come quick! The father sees the people running and screaming as he sees his child no longer alive, it seems, as he falls to the ground in dismay, the head bitten off, and his eyes in tears. Are those weird road tears? Is he too busy screaming in pain as he punches the floor and yells, My dear boy, what happened here? The older brother tries and goes up to the father to explain his mistake. I didn't know this would happen, Dad. It was just a prank. I was just having fun. The TV begins to glitch as Abby hits it multiple times as the screen shows a text. Silly soul. You really thought you seen everything. You really know who you're messing with? Here's the biggest twist. The screen turns back and screams, as it shows a yellow rabbit suit packing a truck full of Abby isn't sure as the static is covered the footage, but it's moving. What could it be? Perhaps a body? Can it be, knowing this man's past? Doesn't past Abby to think that. The yellow rabbit turns around with a knife and closes the truck. As he enters the car, driving it, as he's not alone, there's another kid from what Abby could see. She gets closer to the TV static as it starts to clear down. As now, she could hear the rabbit's voice. He seems to be commentating on himself, and Abby could clearly see Garrett being kidnapped. She's about to witness how it happened, and she's about to learn more as she watches the rabbit speak to the kid while recording himself. I was in that car when the kid was in that car, just there with the airplane flying it. I didn't think much of it. I heard a noise I haven't heard in a long time. At that moment, I stopped the car. I quickly asked them to repeat those sounds. Hey kid, make that sound again. The kid turned back and shockingly recognized my suit, but feared the image I had in my car window. Abby recognized something in that image. There was a yellow rabbit keychain that look, no way, it can't be. The moment comes to when Jane, who was actually Claire Afton, look, I had a special someone back in 1985. He was such a nerd. He liked shining and, wait, why should you know my life story? Abby was getting curious with the story. She never knew Jane had a lover. Back then, Abby did not think much of it. But things are starting to click in as she keeps watching the tapes. I like your spring Bonnie suit. Not much of the Fredbear, though. It scares me. It was at this moment I realized the kid I took wasn't Garrett. It was my son, Evan. Son? I didn't take him. I took you. So I decided to take matters into my own hands. He ran away or somehow found a new home and was taken from me. Now I'm going to find a way to lead him back to where I can finally perhaps give him one more scare once and for all. Hey kids, how would you like to go get some games and birthday cake? Evan, Garrett, looks around the car and he really thinks he should get back home. I don't know, Spring Bonnie. My parents and brother could be worried about me. Nonsense. No need to. We'll be back in a jiffy. It cut back to the moment it happened as the young boy witnesses everything. His own brother dead from a bite right in front of him. Garrett? Is that you? He doesn't remember his own name. At this moment, it was like an accident. This gives William in the suit a very sinister idea as he walks up to the crying child. Hello, kid. What seems to make you sad? The kid looks up to the rabbit figure, almost shocked, but holds his ground. It's my brother. I can't find him. And the rabbit grins as he holds his hand to the crying child. I know where your brother is. Just follow me and, what's your name? The kid doesn't remember his name as he panics, punching his head around. I don't remember. Let me whisper my last name in your ear. Afton. William Afton. You know what, kid? We'll call you Jake Afton. Do you like that name? At that moment, Abby's eyes are in shock, as the yellow ambit, William Afton and her are connected, not only in the tragic tales of Freddys, but turns out she and her brother and Garrett Evan may be part of the Afton family. Abby shuts the TV off as her hands begin to shake. She can't believe this. She's an Afton. No, it can't be. How? She can't be. Her bloodline is related to such a cruel individual? It can't be true. I'm not like him. It has to be fake, right? She falls to the ground and she wishes she never saw those tapes. She understands now. She understands what she must do. Why? If not, she's a burden and Freddie's and her was destined to meet. Her life was meant to be this way, and she decides if the world saw her as a villain, why not embrace that if she really was an Afton? She walks over to the door as she is and has enough. She has all the keys now, as she's ready to unlock the final chapter of her journey. She slices a knife to the walls as her eyes glow purple green. The writing on her walls turns into green as her grin gets wider. I had enough playing hero. It's time for the world to see me for what they made me. She walks in as the one Mike Smith, or now that Abby knows, Michael Afton Emily, tells her that the one she was looking for was hidden in the room, and sure enough, she was right. She was told her to find her. Brother, I found her. It's right where you told me I'll find her. I'll be part of her. Take revenge for what society did to us. Then finally, we'll be free. We'll be respected. Isn't that what you wanted from us, brother? Abby scraps out and moves the boxes as she sees Elizabeth, but it's too late. She's stuck in this clown animatronic. This doesn't bother Abby the slightest as she walks up to the suit and embraces his power as it speaks to her. I don't recognize you. You are new. You will soon. Now. I want some ice cream. The robot pulls out a scooper, while still confused, as it's a strange thing to come here. She's curious. What event will lead a person to want to come back to where it all started? In a place like this, the ice cream scoops up Abby, and she doesn't scream, but embraces her true self. As the entire room gets darker and darker, Elizabeth and Abby are now one and the same, as she's hidden in the shadows, her eyes like green, as both souls are now embracing the one called a baby. Abby, Emily Afton. I'll make you proud, Daddy. Chapter post credits. Dear brother. It's so silent. Can anybody hear me? Anyone here? I don't know if you can hear me. I can hear you. I'm sorry. Garrett turns as he knows all that happened was their father's fault. We're broken. Don't forget, we're still your friends. Garrett turns to see the plushies in the back. He smiles, knowing that Michael is a share. He'll be safe this time. Do you believe us this time? Garrett ponders for a bit as he makes his choices, the right ones this time. I'll put you back together. He has only 3 words for his brother as he begins to slowly fade away. I'm still here. Evan watches as not only his brother vanishes, but his friends do, along with him, slowly flatlining into the distance. Small text appears, leaving one last message. I promised her silence, but the truth begged me to give her a voice. Like father like sons, like father like daughters. Fading out, a box appears into your path. Shall you open it and budge? Let's see what lies in. Perhaps some things are best left forgotten for now. To be continued, and that is Five Nights at Freddy's, rewritten for. Yeah, that's the story. That is Five Nights at Freddy's. Hold on,